This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 20 minutes and holding. We have approximately 5 minutes remaining in this 10-minute built-in hold.
You're loud and clear. How many?
The shuttle weather officer has completed giving his weather assessment to Launch Director Bob Seek. And at this time, the ceiling is at the margin of 8,000 feet. So the plan at this point is to proceed down to T-minus 9 minutes and evaluate the situation. And we will hold at T-minus 9 if we do not have ceilings better than 8,000 broken. The primary transatlantic site, Ben Gurion, is go for launch at this time. At T-minus 20 minutes and holding, this is shuttle launch control.
All personnel, the NTD on 212, conducting a T-minus 20-minute briefing. The launch window opens at 14:18 GMT, closes at 18:25 GMT. A second launch attempt is possible if a recycle occurs. There's one caller this morning, starts at 17:37:30 GMT, ends at 17:39:30 GMT. Wow. If the launch cannot be accomplished within the launch window, or if the following times are exceeded, the NTD will call cutoff. Our APU runtime hold time constraint is 7 minutes. Launch drain back estimate is 6.8 minutes. If the hold is issued and request an issue between T-minus 9 minutes and T-minus 31 seconds, the countdown clock will be restarted upon successful resolution of the problem without a go survey made of all elements. TLT at T-minus 5 minutes, perform APU start upon command of OTC only.
TLT, Roger.
CDR, the pad egress system is nominal. Evacuation heel pass number 8.
CDR, copy.
The fine room launch team disable telephone ringers at this time. Ingress and egress of the fine room will not be allowed after resuming the count at T-minus 20 minutes until after launch or reflect or egress if a recycle occurs. All personnel non-active in terminal count monitored channel 217. All personnel bear in mind the critical post-launch operations will be in progress, so keep fire room noise and activities to a minimum. After T-minus 20 minutes, all problems or trends that require a countdown clock hold will be reported to the NTD on channel 212 together with your recommendation. After T-minus 5 minutes, any hold, manual or GLS, should be accompanied by a description of the problem and a recommendation. The count clock will continue until T-minus 31 seconds unless the recommendation is to hold the next milestone. SB, any comments for the crew?
Yes, CDR, SB, how do you read?
CDR, loud and clear.
Okay, I got a couple items. Water spray boiler number 2 steam vent temp is below 130, so your APU2 ready to start talkback will be barber pole. And they tell me that your in-flight maintenance kit is in compartment 7 and 8. Should be in 9 and 10. And that's all I have. Have a good flight.
And for the rest of the
Okay, we copy that. Thank you.
For the rest of the team, we will not be locking the fine room up until we pick up the clock at T-minus 9 minutes. We'll be extending the hold at T-minus 9 minutes. Are there any questions? That concludes the briefing.
And as OTC on net 212, all personnel after transition to Ops 101, discontinue all LGB PMU reads for remainder of countdown.
OTC, CGNC.
Red CGNC.
Yeah, your pre-flight line is complete, ready for transition to Ops 1. And we have 10 minutes from 13:44/58.
Copy that. CNQC, copy.
I copy. And we're complete to step 895.
Copy that.
Flight entity verify rate is in the count at 20 minutes. Copy.
And DPS OTC. DPS go ahead. Copy step 888 Geo. And we copy.
Sentinel personnel countdown clock will resume at 8:48 Eastern Time.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 20 minutes and holding. We're now 30 seconds away from coming out of this planned 10-minute built-in hold at T-minus 20. The inertial measurement unit pre-flight alignment is now complete, ready for the transition to Ops 101.
Yes, sir. I can give you step 955 at this time.
Coming out of the hold now in about 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. T-minus 20 minutes and counting. Purge of the 3 fuel cells is now underway, and the data processing system engineer has confirmed the onboard computers are in the process of making that transition to the terminal countdown configuration. Stand by for confirmation of that event. The landing and recovery director has reported that the shuttle landing facility is ready and configured for the launch in case of an RTLS, and that the solid rocket booster ships are on station.
DPS. Red DPS. Fast ops transition is complete. DPS ready for BFS transition to Ops 101. Copy that. CDR, OTC.
CDR, go.
Take BFS to Ops 1 for your checklist.
CDR in work.
ELT, OTC.
Go ahead for PLT.
Yes, configure pass and BFS horizontal sit displays for your checklist.
Roger.
Waiting confirmation that we're in Ops 101, the primary launch program.
NTD, CVFS. NTD. Yes, sir. I can verify BFS is tracking pass and ready for BFS uplink. Copy. Flight NTD. Form BFS pre-flight uplink loading.
Wilco.
TLS NTD 212.
TLS on 2 and 2.
Let's configure our window remaining clock to count down to reach 0 at 11:45 local time.
11:45 local. Copy. Thank you.
Standing by now for a dump of that Ops 101 program to examine for any miscompares. This takes about 7 minutes to complete.
NTD Houston Flight 212.
NTD.
BFS pre-flight uplink load is complete.
Copy that. CVFS, you copy?
Yes, sir. And PLT, OTC.
Go ahead.
When your horizontal sit's complete, you can also configure OMS interconnect for your checklist.
Roger.
And we're now standing at T-minus 16 minutes and counting. Next hold is at T-minus 9 minutes for 10 minutes. And at that point, we will make a final assessment of the weather to determine whether or not we have ceilings acceptable to pick up, or whether or not we should stand by and wait for improving conditions.
PLT, OTC.
At this time, all of the criteria are go, with the exception of ceilings below 8,000 feet.
To perform MTS helium reconfiguration.
Roger that.
And do you have your horizontal stick configuration complete yet?
That's affirmed.
Pilot Ken Cameron in the process of performing the main propulsion system helium reconfiguration.
The what?
Yeah, Ohm's RCS cross-feed configuration is complete for the clock.
Copy that. CMTC step 941.
Right, copy.
This procedure opens the helium isolation valves necessary for the in-flight purges of the engines.
STU, step 953.
OTC PLT.
Go ahead.
Roger, Ohms interconnect came up enabled, and the MPS helium ISOs and the pneumatic helium ISOs are open.
Copy that.
SRO NTD, verify 70-minute Gen still has normal track.
I can verify that.
And PLT OTC, report RCS quantities, forward, left, and right, fuel, and oxidizer.
Roger, stand by. Okay, forward oxidizer 68, forward fuel 68, left oxidizer 100, left fuel 9 or 8, right oxidizer 100, right fuel 99, 9 or 9er.
Copy that.
STM NTD. Deactivate pad OIS. Copy that.
Pilot Ken Cameron having reported now the quantities of storable propellant on board, those figures being confirmed.
Safety council NTD.
Safety, go ahead.
Did you verify the close air crew is back at roadblock AB11?
I already did that. I already gave you that step.
Copy. SRO NTD. SRO NTD 212.
NTD SRO 212, go ahead.
KC area is clear for launch, step 957.
Thank you, sir.
OTC, FCP. That's CFCP. Step 959. All ready for fuel cell load adjust. Copy that. EPDD copy. EPD copies. Kick you off at 961. And DCLD copy 961.
DCL copies.
NASA Test Director Mike Leinbach confirming now that all personnel have been cleared from the launch danger area at this time.
The countdown clock will hold at T-minus 9 minutes.
There's OTC on net 212. All personnel discontinue all non-mandatory LTV traffic for remainder of count. 976, CMQC.
Copy.
OTC CVFS. Red CVFS. T-minus 20-minute GPC dump is complete per step 968. Copy that, thank you.
Now 2 minutes away from going into the 10-minute hold at T-minus 9. Shuttle weather officer is briefing Launch Director Bob Seek. There are some showers, rain showers within 20 miles of KSC. Melbourne now reporting their clouds have gone scattered. And the clouds at the shuttle landing facility now reported to be at 7,500 feet, so that would be below our margins.
Go for ceiling and blast.
Copy, launch director NTD, copy. Launch Director NTD 212.
CMQC 993 will be not performed.
Copy.
1 minute away now from going into the 9-minute built-in hold.
CPVD, OTC.
This is CPVD.
Can you give me step 1005 yet?
That'll be a not perform.
No.
And payload bay purge, flow radius set for launch.
Okay, copy
For 1005.
Thank you. 1005, CMQC.
I copy.
This is shuttle launch control. We're now at T-minus 9 minutes and holding. We're assessing the weather conditions at this time. However, based on the information that we have now, we probably would not be picking up at the time it would be appropriate to come out of this built-in hold after 10 minutes. Otherwise, though, as far as the Space Shuttle Atlantis and the Gamma Ray Observatory, we're ready to fly. We're just simply waiting for improvement in cloud conditions.
Correction is not required at this time. Let me verify that T9.
At T-minus 9 minutes and holding, this is shuttle launch control.
CVFS.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I didn't hear what the response was on the launch calling.
He's still checking.
Okay, thank you.
NTD Houston Flight 212.
Go ahead, Flight.
Launch poly update will not be required today. At NTD, we are still looking at the weather situation and should have a recommendation for you in a few minutes whether it will be go to come out of the T-minus 9 minute hold. Currently, we are not go for the weather.
I copy.
NTD CMQC.
Go ahead, QC.
At this time, all constraints to step 1028 have been cleared.
Copy, thank you. Launch Director NTD 212.
Go ahead.
SRO reports he is no-go right now for sealing and blast.
Copy. And as has already been reported by flight, they're looking still at the RTLS conditions, so we probably are going to be holding here for at least a little while at T-minus 9. You can factor that into your plans.
I copy. GLS NTD.
Yeah, let's go.
Cancel pending, please.
Copy that, some work.
And all personnel will hold be extended.
OTC this HCD. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. We would like to request a 10-minute heads up before performing step 998, our HCDS and backup auto-cal.
Okay, copy that.
STM NTD 212. STM. Has OIS been deactivated at the pad now?
That's permanent.
Copy.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 9 minutes in holding. We have 4.5 minutes remaining in this built-in hold. Brewster Shaw has completed his poll of the mission management team, and all of those mission managers report that they are ready to fly. KSC does have a request at this time to extend the built-in hold to allow for an increase in the ceilings, which right now are at 8,000 or below, and we do require above 8,000 feet for a launch this morning. Otherwise, no significant problems in work, and simply awaiting an improvement in cloud cover. At T-minus 9 minutes and holding, this is shuttle launch control.
All personnel of the NTD on 212 conducting a launch status check at T-minus 9 minutes. Verify ready to resume the count and go for launch. Say go or no go. OTC.
OTC is go.
PTC. TBC go. PTC.
Go.
LPS.
LPS go.
Flight.
Flight is go, with some words when you get done with the rest of your poll, NTD.
Copy. Mila. STM.
STM's go.
Safety console.
Safety consoles go.
SPE.
SPE go.
CDR.
Go.
LRD. LRD go. SRO.
SRO is no-go at this time.
And no go based on what?
Based on weather and blast.
And the weather is ceiling?
That's affirmative. Ceiling's less than 8,000 feet.
I copy. And flight, your words?
Flight on 212, we have cleared the RTLS weather. We're recommending go. Current observations are 7,500 thin broken from the ground. The weather aircraft has cleared us to see the approach. Therefore, we have cleared our last hurdle to be go for launch. We would like to update the crew. We would like to change the RTLS runway from 15 to 33, and with your go, we would like to do that.
Copy, proceed.
Atlantis, Houston. RTLS. Go ahead.
Roger, Steve. I guess you heard that on the air to ground. We'd like to change the RTLS runway to 33. The problem is basically that we're ending up a little low energy when we go to 15, touching down between 700 and 800 feet in the STA. Predicted touchdown distance and what Dan was seeing on 33 is around 1,900 to 2,000 feet. So we're going to go ahead and ask you to switch over to KSC 33 for the RTLS runway.
Okay, copy that. Do you want close aim point on 33?
Negative. Nominal aim point on 33 and a reminder for MLS Channel 6.
Okay, MLS Channel 6 and KSC 33 nominal aim point.
That's affirmative.
And CNSC OTC.
I copy. Will be performing 994. PLT panel 08.
PLT OTC. Oh, this is CDR. Go ahead.
Okay, CNSC, go ahead. Panel 08, MLS 1, 2, and 3 from Wales to 6.
Roger, that's in work.
NTD Launch Director 212.
Go ahead, Launch Director.
Okay, the HAZ gas is up that they needed to get started 10 minutes before coming out of the hold line.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 9 minutes and holding. We are awaiting a recommendation to proceed with the countdown based on an assessment that if we change our return to launch site runway from 15 to 33, that clouds would be acceptable. That's being discussed at this time.
And while we're still holding on that, I'll go and perform my poll at this time.
NTD SRO 212.
Go ahead, SRO.
Yes, sir. Be advised that our RSO has waived the sealing requirement, but he is still evaluating the blast data. It'll take him about another 5 minutes.
I copy, and launch director, you copy?
Wait, copy.
And launch director, operator.
Go ahead, sir.
Roger. We have no constraints, and you are cleared to proceed with the launch.
Wait, copy.
We maintain quiet in the firing room, please.
And Cape Weather, launch director 212.
Launch director is Cape Weather and OS 212, over.
Okay, go ahead with your final forecasted winds.
Roger, sir. We have no weather launch constraints violated. Steady state wind forecast for launch from 110 degrees at 12 knots, over.
I copy. And MTD launch director, what's your posture for coming out of the hold once we hear from range?
We need to hear back from HGD and activate recorders, which we can do on the fly, and then we'll be ready.
Okay, copy. MTD launch director.
MTD.
As soon as you're ready, we'll go pick up the clock and go on down to 5 minutes to wait on the final confirmation for SRO, which we may get on the fly. So whenever your team is ready, we can proceed.
I copy.
With of course the fact that we're going to hold at 5 until we hear from range.
Understood. HGD, NTD 212.
This is HGD.
As you copy that, we're going to pick up the clock and march on down to 5, and if you're not ready, we'll hold there. Copy that.
I copy.
Flight, CISL, JRPS, NTD on 212.
Flights on 212.
CISL.
JRPS.
Activate recorders, please.
Copy that. We need CMQC on 145, please.
CMQC, did you copy?
CMQC copies.
GLS, NTD.
Yeah, let's go.
Pick up the clock on your count, please.
Copy that. And the clock will resume on my mark. 3, 2, 1, mark.
T-minus 9 minutes and holding.
ELT, GLS auto sequence has been initiated.
ELT, go ahead.
Configure fuel cell central bus source switches.
Roger, central bus source to fuel cell. That's complete.
This is shuttle launch control at T-minus 8 minutes 25 seconds and counting. The plan at this point is to go down to T-minus 5 and hold and wait directions from the superintendent of range operations that we can proceed. We'll go now to mission control in Houston for a readiness statement there.
Flight, proceed with transmission of stored program command.
Flight, Wilco.
This is Mission Control Houston. As the countdown progresses towards launch this morning, the flight crew, the shuttle vehicle, and the flight control team here in Houston have been declared ready to fly by Ascent Flight Director Wayne Hale. Weather at the primary transoceanic abort landing site, Ben Guerir, Morocco, has been declared go. Weather pilot Charlie Bolden, flying the range at that TAL site, described the weather as great this morning.
Yeah, let's go.
Launch conditions are presenting no concerns for flight controllers here, as there are no showers or weather activities of any concern in the launch corridor. There was a decision made here in Houston to redesignate the RTLS runway from 15 to 33 for enhanced winds and visibility. At this point, we're continuing to count down to a potential 5-minute hold. All positions here in the flight control room are ready to press on with the count for a liftoff this morning.
Go ahead, Bob.
Well, okay, Steve, looks like the weather's going to cooperate, so we'll see if you can't get us started off this year. Have a good one.
So, many thanks from us to you and the entire team, Bob. We appreciate it very much, and we'll have a good flight.
Yes, sir.
CHTD OTC.
This is HCD.
You have your auto count complete yet?
Auto count's complete. All I need to do is get the test gas confidence checks.
Copy that.
And we're awaiting final word that we will continue with the countdown at T-5.
And HCD, do you expect that to be complete in the next minute?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you.
GSRP OTC, start APU and hydraulic strip chart recorders.
Copy. Recorders are up.
CLT OTC, perform APU pre-start.
Roger that.
Direction now to the commander to begin APU pre-start.
Two gray talkbacks, number 2's buffer hole.
Coming up on T-minus 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
We expected that on number 2.
Understood. HCD, NTD, how you doing?
We're complete with our test gas confidence checks, and we're looking good.
All right, you go to continue the count at 5 minutes. That's firm. Copy.
Okay, let's copy.
Appears we will be continuing the count past T-minus 5.
Okay, let's go.
T-minus 4 minutes, 56 seconds and counting. Pilot Ken Cameron reporting that APU pre-start is complete.
CDR OTC, reconfigure heaters.
CDR, roger.
The solid rocket booster and external tank safe and arm devices have now been armed.
That is complete. OTC CDR heater reconfig complete.
APUs are now running.
Okay, let's go for bird sequence 4.
Standing by to transfer to internal power. Gimbal check going on now of the 3 main engines of Atlantis. Final check of the orbiter steering. All systems go for launch. Main engines now in the start position.
CM212.
Yeah, let's go for ET-LO2 pressurization.
Great STM. Yes, sir, the 25-miler weather advisory 4-3 has been terminated. Copy.
CLT OTC, clear caution warning memory, verify no unexpected errors.
Standing by now to retract the gaseous oxygen vent hood. And the beanie cap now being retracted, and the swing arm will move away from the external tank. In a moment, the crew will be instructed to close their visors.
Memory's cleared, no unexpected errors.
Copy that. OTC to flight crew. Close and lock your visors, initiate O2 flow, and enjoy the ride.
CDR, roger, and thanks a million.
Okay, let's go for ET LH2 pressurization.
T-minus 90 seconds and counting. At T-minus 1 minute, the ground launch sequencer will verify that the Space Shuttle main engines are ready to start. Liquid hydrogen tank now at flight pressure. T-minus 1 minute. Ground launch sequencer verifying main engines are ready. Residual hydrogen burn igniters are armed. T-minus 45 seconds. Sound suppression water system armed. That will release water at T-minus 16 seconds at the rate of 900,000 gallons a minute. T-minus 31 seconds. We have the handoff to Atlantis' onboard computers. Atlantis now controlling.
25. 20.
T-minus 16 seconds. Sound suppression water system operating. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Main engine start. 3 good engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff of the Space Shuttle Atlantis and the Gamma Ray Observatory, seeking out the explosive forces of the universe.
Full program, Houston.
Roger, roll, Atlantis.
Houston now controlling. Roll maneuver complete. Placing Atlantis and crew in the heads down attitude and on course for its 28.5-degree inclination orbit. Engines throttling down now to help maintain optimum aerodynamic conditions as Atlantis accelerates through the dense lower atmosphere. Engines throttling further down now to 67%. Velocity 860 feet per second, all systems performing well. Atlantis now beginning to emerge from the region of maximum dynamic pressure. Engines are throttling up.
Atlantis, Houston, go at throttle up.
Go at throttle up.
Atlantis' 3 main engines burning at 104% rated thrust. Velocity 2,200 feet per second, altitude 67,000 feet, downrange distance 8 nautical miles. All systems performing well. The next milestone in this climb to orbit will be solid rocket booster burnout and staging. That coming up in just about 15 seconds. We have confirmation of a clean separation on time. Guidance has converged. Velocity now 4,200 feet per second. Altitude 190,000 feet. Downrange distance 36 nautical miles.
Atlantis, Houston, performance is nominal.